the online chatter leading up to this movie has been really weird, whether coming from Marvel fans or Zack Snyder fans. Me, as a guy that don't care about none of that, James Gunn might have DC back on the right track. I don't want to get too excited, but I do have a little faith in DC's universe right now, and we are talking spoilers, so if you have not seen this movie yet, come back later. Superman is a movie that had me extremely nervous before its release because I actually like DC and Marvel. I want them both to flourish, but DC over the last few years or so has given me absolutely nothing to be excited for in terms of building this universe. And it sucks because I liked Man of Steel and I thought Henry Cavill was a perfect Superman. I thought the first Wonder Woman was a great movie, and I'm sure I'm in the minority, but I don't mind Gal Gadot. Every single thing after that was trash. DC has made some great random movies over the years, like Joker, at least the first one, and the Batman, but in terms of a universe like the MCU, I had no faith, and even for Marvel and something as established as the MCU, I feel like that's a mess. And then that controversial talented bastard James Gunn gets hired. He announces Superman as a fresh start for the DC universe, and that first trailer they released had me really uneasy, but after watching this movie, I thought this was a great film. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I don't even like Superman like that as a character. I've always thought Superman was a dork. I want my Superman to be more like Homelander. I don't know if that's a hot take. Batman by far is my favorite superhero of all time, and honestly, Superman might not even be in my top 10 personal favorite superheroes. Bro, I like Hulk Girl more than Superman, so for me not even being a big fan of Superman as a character, I love this movie. The entire cast in this movie I thought was perfect. I thought David Corenswet was a really good Superman. I mean, he looks like he was born to be Clark Kent. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and a ton of other characters in this movie. I thought everyone delivered. The best way for me to describe this film is fun, which is weird for me to say because one of the reasons that I love DC is because they have such a different tone from Marvel. Like for me, I'm depressing as a person. I love that slow and dark tempo that DC has. Like I love that dark feel of Man of Steel, Joker, the Batman. That's more my style. I'm saying this in a good way, but this movie feels very cartoonish. Like it honestly, I feel corny saying this, but it made me feel like a kid again. Like I had to catch myself in a movie theater because I found myself watching this film and I noticed that I kept smiling at random points and I was probably looking like a creep to some of the other people, but this truly made me feel like a kid again. Like it reminded me when I was a young kid and I was watching the Justice League cartoon. So I'm more of a casual when it comes to Marvel and DC stuff. Like I've never read comics when I was a kid. When I was growing up, I played video games, I watched cartoons, I watched a lot of movies, so I don't really know what's considered comic accurate or not. So when it comes to this world they've built and the universe they're building, I don't have a lot of comic book nitpicks. This was just a really fun summer movie for me. And I've said this before, but I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy ruined Disney because I feel like everything after that, whether Marvel or Star Wars, tried to fit that same sort of humor. The thing is, everyone can't do it the way that James Gunn does. So I feel like with the Superman movie, they found a good balance between being serious and having its funny moments. Like it wasn't any point in this movie that I felt like they were overdoing it or they were trying too hard to be funny. Unlike some of these newer Disney products, like I hate whatever Thor has become now. I love the way they portrayed the relationship between Clark and Lois, and that apartment scene when they were doing the interview, no action, just dialogue, one of the best scenes in the movie. I would have loved for them to give us more scenes of Lois and Clark together and actually doing stuff, but they had a lot to build on, they had a lot to work with, and that's probably the main thing that I've seen people complaining about online, is that it's a lot happening. People are saying that it's too many characters, it's too much going on, and usually in movies I would agree with them, but in this case, it didn't bother me. I ain't even know that my guy Metamorpho was gonna be in this. I could be wrong, I might be tripping, but I feel like this was the first time I've even heard of the character Mr. Terrific, and he was probably my favorite character in this entire movie. Same thing with Nathan Fillion and him as the Green Lantern. My bald brother Lex Luthor was incredible. I hated Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex, but Nicholas Hoult was so much better in my opinion. Lex Luthor is my type of hater. Like honestly, I respect it. Hate, hate, hate. I've been seeing online that some people are saying that they felt like Lex was too whiny. They're saying that they felt like he was a crybaby. I ain't really get that from him. Like that scene where he shot the dude when he was interrogating Superman, he shot the dude and acted like it was nothing. I like that. Like some of the complaints that people have didn't really bother me that much. A1, A1, A1. But it was so many good moments in this movie. Like Crypto, bro, Crypto, I completely forgot about Crypto as a character in life. I have not thought about Crypto since I was a little kid. The only crypto I think about is Bitcoin. Sorry, that was low hanging fruit. But I thought he was great in this movie. I love that character. He was so adorable. But he was such a dick in this film. The story wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but I liked it for the most part. Like I do get how some people might say that it was too much going on because it was a lot for fans to digest, but I give them a little wiggle room on this. Like I get some people wanted a more focused story, but I give them a little wiggle room because they're trying to establish this universe. I mean, they're trying to build a world from scratch. Superman in this movie, I still thought was an extreme dork, but the way they portrayed his character, it worked. And it was something about him that was just charming to me because it was scenes in this movie that usually I would just flat out hate. But in this, it just works, and I found myself smiling. Like when he was fighting the monster and he blew the dog away and the dog hit the tree, and then later he flew in and he saved the squirrel. Like I was like, look at this dweeb. But it made me feel good. I like seeing Lex Luthor trying to execute this plan to get the entire planet to hate Superman and make the entire world think that Superman is this Omni-Man-like presence sent here to destroy the Earth. I wasn't looking for this super tight Christopher Nolan-like script with this movie. I just wanted to see a movie that was fun, a movie that establishes this world, that establishes these characters, and I feel like they delivered. Like I can't believe I almost forgot about Jimmy Olsen and Eve's characters. Like their relationship was hilarious to me. All their scenes together had my entire packed theater busting out laughing. Like it was so many scenes in this movie that I found funny and that my theater found funny as well, and it never seemed forced, if you know what I mean. Crypto had a lot of moments in this movie that got a big reaction in my theater. Crypto was hilarious. The Mr. Terrific scene with the garage door slowly going up, I thought that was hilarious. My entire theater bust out laughing with that. The monkeys tweeting bad things about Superman, hilarious. I thought all of the Jimmy Olsen and Eve scenes together, I thought they were hilarious. My theater was laughing a lot throughout this movie, and it never seemed forced. Once again, it didn't seem like it was forced. It seemed like people were just genuinely having a good time. So I really enjoyed this movie, but it isn't perfect. I do have some nitpicks, and there is one thing that I really don't like. What are we doing with Hawk Girl? I could be wrong because the only time I remember seeing Hawk Girl is on the old Justice League cartoon. She was one of my favorite characters on that TV show. I could be wrong. Maybe my memory is just bad, but I don't remember her doing this stupid, annoying screeching noise back on the cartoon. In this movie, it sounded horrible. Like, I like the actress that plays her, Isabella Merced. I like the character of Hawk Girl. She actually killed somebody, which I thought was hilarious. But every time she did that screeching noise, I hated it. And then also, I love production. I love camera work and stuff like that. The super close tight shots that they had in this movie look so bad to me. Like the ones that they had of Hawk Girl when she was doing that screaming looked so bad. Some of the scenes where Clark was flying through the air looked terrible. Engineer, I feel like this was the first time I've ever even heard of Engineer. I thought her character was really cool, but they had a scene when they were in Superman's base and she was like hacking into the computer, and it had this super tight shot on her face. It looked so stupid in my opinion. I don't know if they did it because the Superman did have a showing in 3D. I don't know if that's why they were doing it. I don't know if in 3D it might have looked different, but that was a terrible stylistic choice in my opinion. It looked so stupid. But the main issue that I had with this movie was the ending. I feel like for a movie that already had a lot going on, I feel like with that ending, they started to do way too much. I was cool with a lot of the stuff that they were doing, but once they introduced the black hole and that was ripping the city apart, I hated that. I didn't feel like that was something that should be in the first movie of a franchise. Like I feel like this, maybe this is just a personal thing. I don't feel like every single comic book movie needs to have some sort of end of the world level threat. It's kind of like with Spider-Man, like people are saying, yo, we just want a grounded Spider-Man movie. We don't need the multiverse and stuff like that. And speaking of the black hole, I know they said this in a movie and they were like, oh, you know, we're going to evacuate the city and stuff like that. But not even just at the ending, throughout this entire film. How many people died in this movie? Like, yeah, you say you evacuated a city. It is no way a city full of hundreds of thousands or millions of people are all gonna get evacuated. You got buildings collapsing, you got debris falling everywhere, bridges collapsing. I would love to know the unofficial body count for this movie. As of this recording, on Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score of 82% and a fan rating of 93%. If you would have asked me months ago, I thought my score would have been much lower, but I'm right there with the both of them. Because honestly, when I was leaving the theater, I was debating between an 8 or a 9 just when I was thinking about everything that I saw. I'm gonna go with the 8 for this movie. This was a great film. I just really love the feel of the world that they've established, and they had such a great wide range of interesting characters. Clark and Lois were both great in this film, and we have a bright and fun Superman movie that's crazy. The ending could have been better in my opinion. I didn't need a black hole tearing the city apart, and a few nitpicks here and there, but overall, I thought this was a great movie. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are your thoughts on the DCU? Is the DCU finally figuring it out? I can't believe it, but I'm actually excited for this. And also, I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about Batman. So it was a scene in this movie I saw on the internet. It was a scene, I think it was when they were evacuating citizens, when they got on the highway. It said, Gotham, turn left. What are we doing with Batman? I love Batman. Now for me, I would love for Robert Pattinson to be Batman and just come into this universe, but I highly doubt it. I don't know if they officially said he's not doing it. I could have missed that, but just his world, his character, and his tone, I feel like it's not gonna happen because it's completely different from what they just established with the Superman movie. So who do you want to be Batman? What should the plans be with Batman? And just let me know all your thoughts on the DCU in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.